Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into the aquatic world to check out a seriously rugged creature. We're looking at a recent blog post by an author named Ang, and we're going to unlock the mystery of the L27D. It's basically a masterclass in how nature engineers heavy-duty aesthetics. All right, let's just jump right in.
Picture this. You're peering through the thick glass of an aquarium, right? You spot something super fascinating lurking down near the bottom. But the only clue you get is this totally cryptic label, L27D. Well, that's exactly what blogger Ang ran into. I mean, come on, L27D. That sounds way more like a part number for a jet engine or, I don't know, a droid from a sci-fi movie, right? Not a living, breathing animal. It's just this total mystery wrapped up in an alphanumeric code, and it really pulls you in. You can't help but wonder, what kind of creature actually needs a designation like that?
So let's decode that together. L27D actually stands for the Goldline Royal Pleco. Now, what's really cool about Ang's observation is that even before learning that name, their gut reaction was, hey, this is some kind of catfish. And honestly, the shape, the way it held itself in the water, it all totally pointed that way. But you got to admit, the name Goldline Royal Pleco gives it a much more regal, imposing vibe than just a random string of letters and numbers. It completely sets the stage for a seriously unique animal. To figure out why it looks so much like a standard catfish, we've got to look at the underlying science. Both the pleco and your everyday catfish belong to the Siluriformes order. Basically, that's just a broad classification that includes all ray-finned catfish. So Ang's initial instinct when staring through that glass? Absolutely spot on. They're biologically grouped together in this huge taxonomic family. It just goes to show that sometimes our eyes are actually pretty great at picking up on those deep evolutionary connections. Now, what's really fascinating here is the specific physical trait that links these guys together: barbels. If you've ever seen a catfish's iconic whiskers, you know exactly what we're talking about. They're these slender, whisker-like sensory organs right around the mouth. And because both the pleco and the standard catfish are in that Siluriformes order, some plecos actually share these highly specialized, super-sensitive tools. They use them to navigate their environment and sniff out food. It's a shared evolutionary tool, and it's literally vital for their survival. Okay, so the really crucial part is how this specific fish actually presents itself visually. The Goldline Royal Pleco belongs to the Pennaque species, and they are famous for this incredibly deliberate, bold aesthetic. First off, check out that striking pattern. You've got these light-colored stripes popping against a super dark base body color. It's an incredibly dramatic, high-contrast look. And beyond just the coloring, it has this classic, heavy, armored appearance. Like, it doesn't look soft or fragile at all. It looks like a prehistoric tank, just heavily shielded and built to survive a seriously tough environment. But you might be wondering, where exactly does the royal part of Goldline Royal Pleco come from? Well, it's all about the eyes. The absolute hallmark feature of the Royal Pleco lineage is having these large, striking eyes. It's such a wild contrast when you think about it. You've got this heavy, rugged, almost industrial-looking armored body, right? But then it's crowned with these bold, majestic eyes that literally give the fish its royal title. It's just a striking piece of natural design, and it absolutely commands your attention. Now, despite that majestic design, aesthetic appreciation is super subjective, isn't it? We actually see two totally different perspectives in the fish-keeping world here. On one hand, we've got our author, Ang, who generally leans toward vibrant, colorful aquatic life. So for Ang, plecos, even the royal ones, just aren't vibrant enough. They kind of lack that colorful pop. But then on the flip side, there's this really dedicated niche group of hobbyist fish keepers who absolutely revere this bold, heavily armored aesthetic. They just love that industrial, rugged vibe. It's honestly a great reminder of how incredibly diverse passions can be within a single hobby. Which brings us right to Ang's final, definitive verdict on the matter. It is good to know about this species, but as for keeping them, that is not for me. I love this. It's a very honest, kind of humorous, and just deeply respectful conclusion. Ang totally appreciates the science, the classification, and that crazy armored look of the L27D. They're definitely glad they learned about it, but they're firmly drawing the line at actually keeping one in their own tank. They're perfectly happy just observing this piece of heavy aquatic machinery from the outside of the glass and leaving the actual keeping to the hardcore enthusiasts. And that actually brings us to the end of our explainer today. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question. Where do you find majesty? Is it in the bright, flashy, vibrant colors of a tropical fish? Or is it in the heavy, rugged, prehistoric armor of something like the Goldline Royal Pleco? There is absolutely no right or wrong answer here, but it's definitely something fun to chew on the next time you're appreciating nature or, just staring into a local fish tank. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this little tour today. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and I'll see you in the next explainer.